Hey guys, just popping in. So, I wasn't planning on making this video today, but I did notice the other day that some of my older business videos were still getting some views on YouTube. So, that had me thinking and reflecting, and I thought I would come in and share with you some of my reflections on why I paused my business for a season and the things that I learned in this season of pause. It's just a reflection. It's not a comeback or anything like that, but I just wanted to share some of the things that I've learned over this time while I have been away. So bear with me as we go through these things, okay? So if you see me looking over here, I've just got some notes that I've kind of jotted down that I'm going to just talk to you guys about. Okay, so the first lesson that I learned is your identity can't be your output. So when I paused, I felt like I had failed. Simple as that. First things first, I went through a very, to say rough season is an understatement. And I'm not going to get into that tonight in this video, maybe in a later video. But to say that I went through a rough season is an understatement, where I had to really take some time and take a step back. And taking that step back initially, well, it came with a lot of grief. I felt like I had failed. I realized that I had tied my worth to my productivity, meaning that I was more concerned about my output, how much I was producing, how much I could get out there, how quickly I could turn things around, how fast I could launch 4 or 5 candles, how fast I could help a client, how fast I could do this, do that. And it was killing me slowly. So, and I felt like if I couldn't produce or overproduce, then I was worthless, which was not healthy. And if I wasn't building, I didn't know who I was, because I wrapped everything that I had into my business, including my identity, which is also not healthy, because what happens when the business has to stop? Then you no longer can identify who you are as a person. And that's unhealthy. Lesson 2. Hustle is easy. Peace is harder. I was so used to grinding. Grind, sun up to down. Grind. Movement felt very safe to me. Moving all the time felt very safe to me. Not taking a pause, not learning when to slow down. Passing out on the couch, giving it my all in the day, passing out at midnight, when I just would fall asleep on the couch because I couldn't give anymore. I had nothing left to give. Rest felt very uncomfortable for me, which was a problem. I remember I had forgotten that I was supposed to be going on vacation with my sister, and by the time I had gotten on this vacation and had finally sat down somewhere, and then by the time I got back, I was so sick from the amount of stress that I had put myself under. It was just immensely unhealthy, because I was so used to being on the move, and late nights, early mornings, because was putting everything and pouring everything into this business that I had nothing left, or I was pouring absolutely nothing back into myself. And it was completely exhausting. It was completely shattering and harmful. And I didn't know how to build from peace. And I didn't know what that looked like. And and it was completely chaotic, which was also unhealthy. I was very comfortable in struggle, and I was not comfortable with ease. Another thing that I learned in this season of pause is sometimes you don't lose momentum, you gain maturity. I thought everything would disappear if I had stopped working. I had gotten to the point where I had literally just had to let everything go. And if you're familiar with my old videos, I'm very faith centered. My businesses are faith centered, and God stopped me, halted me, and told me to let it go. Give it to Him and let it go. And that caused so much grief in me. But then I also realized that I was doing a lot of it in my own strength. And it was killing me. It was killing me. But more on, I thought everything would just disappear. Everything would fall through my fingers if I just stopped. But it didn't. It didn't. The videos kept getting views when I hadn't touched it, hadn't looked at it, had logged out. When I logged back in, I could barely remember the password. It was by the grace that I could. And I was quite surprised by what I saw. And that showed me something very important. What's for you doesn't evaporate because you paused. So, in that, all these things that I've learned in this season of pause on my businesses, what would I do differently now? I would build slower, way slower, so much slower. I would not be concerned about productivity. I would not be concerned in tying my worth to how many launches I could have in a year, how many clients I could help in a year, how many affirmations I could get in a year from who knows where on the internet. I would protect my personal life much more, because you still got to show up and be important to the people that really matter. Your husband, your wife, your children, your family, your friends. You still got to show up, and that's important. So I would definitely protect my personal life like the treasure that it is. I would focus more on stewardship instead of performance. I wouldn't be looking at metrics and numbers and sales and everything. Is it this or is it that? Or even looking at my other counterparts and seeing how they're doing compared to me and comparing myself to other people. I would stay in my lane. I would build from peace. If I build again, it will be from regulation, not pressure. I don't know what this space is going to look like going forward. I'm not promising consistency. I just know I still have something to say. If you're willing to listen. So maybe I'll see you soon.